Elevated Talks and thing. You got your boy Standout in the building. You know how I'm feeling. All right, look. So this is a special podcast today. I know I say every podcast is special, but this is a special podcast today because it's like a coming to home moment right now. You know what I'm saying? We got my what's up, Rashawn? How you doing? Tell the guests who you are.
Shit, name's Sean, a.k.a. Mr. Exotic Blends. Instagram, exoticblends_9. Go ahead and follow that.
Okay. Yeah, I say it's a special moment because I feel old right now. This is one of the kids. He's not a kid no more, but this is one of the guys I used to coach when he was like 13.
Yeah,
he was
13,
my quarterback, man. Right? And it's funny because he had just moved into Vegas, and we'll touch on that. But he had just moved into Vegas, and we kind of had another quarterback. We kind of merged with a team, and I didn't really like the team like that. But I was almost going to stop coaching that year. And then I seen Sean and his dad and his brothers out there, and I'm like, all right, we got a little bit of hope. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what I can make it do what it do. But we'll get into that in a little bit. But all right, tell us about where you from. What made you guys move to Vegas?
So originally I'm born in Maricopa Mesa, Arizona, but I grew up in like Surprise, Arizona, more like a retirement area where like older people live. So it's real slow. But we got moved out here because my mom's job got transferred and she worked for Cox Communication. So like, after that, we just stuck here for a minute. We actually had the opportunity to go back, but my mom wasn't going for it. She knew that I already got comfortable here and everything. So it was like, she didn't want to take the time to take us back and do all that because that was her past, her trauma and everything. So she didn't want to put that trauma on us. So, we grew up here. That was actually my first team we actually came, across from in Vegas and things like that. And that's how, we is.
Shout out to the Team Classic Bulldogs. Like the camp was cool. It was just that who I was coaching with at that age group. Yeah. I'm not gonna mention any names.
Bad.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Because we had stars, and me, at the time especially, I was a football nerd, and I got this love-hate relationship for football, and and I seen so much potential in the team that we had. It's just that the head coach wasn't up to par.
Yeah, that's what it was. I feel like, we had a cool little solid team, even though we had 13 players. I feel like we did something with 13 players though.
We started off with like 20 some odd players.
Yeah, and everybody started just dropping.
Yeah, they started dropping.
Yeah.
And then like I shortly after that figured out why they started dropping, because like, all right, like this is first off, 13. Well, they didn't call it 13U then, but 13U is a tricky age division as it is, because that's when a lot of boys start falling out of love with football.
Yeah.
Or they get burnt out, or or they want to do other
interest
things.
in other things, girls, this, that,
girls,
third, yeah.
that plays a big factor.
Big ass factor, yeah.
That played a fact. Well, not when I was 13, but later on in life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, chasing ass, played a big factor in a lot of things, and then you kind of, when you get 13, when that age group is your last year, so you want to play with your friends, you want to be on a good team, you want to make a run for some shit. So yeah, man, like you was a quarterback,
yeah,
and I remember like you wasn't even a starting quarterback at that. I'm like, we have fucking 14, 13 players at this time. Like, oh no, I'm gonna make him play receiver. I remember having coaches meetings and shit. I'm like, why would you make the best guy that plays quarterback play receiver if we already got a good ass receiver?
And the funny thing about it though, if they would have made that move, I wouldn't have been mad, because I didn't even want to play quarterback.
I know,
anymore.
man. I remember I used to talk to you. I'm like, yo, I need you.
I did not want to play that, but my mom made me. Shout out to my mom for that though. She made me play that, because you don't really see.
Sorry about that.
You don't really see a lot of well, now you do. It's more rare, a lot of black quarterbacks now, but. And especially the way I was, I really wasn't the black quarterback that was mobile, running, things like that. No, I'm actually a pocket passer.
Yeah, you was really a pocket passer.
Yeah, I'm reading the field like I was really smarter than everybody on the field. So like my mom seen something in me, and that's why she kept pushing that quarterback narrative. And I'm like, all right, I guess. But
I mean, you was an athlete, but you wasn't a scrambling quarterback. You always thought pass first, then run. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like with the team that we had a lot of pieces that, like, for example, like Daiwan, for example.
Yeah.
Like the year before, he was my running back. You know, when I had the Outlaws, he had the second most yards in the league.
Yeah, I heard.
You know what I'm saying? I got video of him all, you know, same thing with Rigo. He was the number one tight end in the age group. You know, so I'm handing the coach,
yeah, we got
pieces.
Yeah,
you know,
pieces.
I forget the kid. What's the dude name? He had the glasses.
He was a receiver.
Yeah, but see, he wanted him to play. He wanted him to play quarterback at first. That was his.
No way.
Yeah, and I'm like, nah, man, this dude like he get hit one time, he out. You know, he can't catch. So I don't know why you wanted him at receiver, but he can't throw neither like that. Like, you know, and then I forgot who he had starting at running back.
It was Daiwan. And remember we had a fullback too, Joshua Cola.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was a hard year for me. That was one of my hardest. That's like top 2 hardest years of football because I seen so much potential. Later on down the road, we wound up getting better or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I hated that. So like, did that jade you a little bit?
Kind of, yeah. Like even this about the season we had. I had like a few pieces. Me knowing I'm going to high school with JJ. So like that really made me like think like, okay, cool. I know I can do something. So by my freshman year, it was all bad. I'm damn near throwing 4 or 5 touchdown passes a game. I left the season with at least 17 of them. So like I feel like I had a great year. But after that, I wasn't thinking. All I was thinking football. I wasn't thinking academic side. So I fell short. I was ineligible, and it's so crazy that I was ineligible. But like when you're ineligible, you miss 4 games. But I had coaches really trying to fix my grades for me to come back, and I was only a JV player. So it was like, it was crazy, but my dad wasn't allowing that shit. He said, "No, make him sit out. Make him sit out." But the reason why I only missed 1 game, the principal see me on the sideline and said, "Nah, we're gonna fix that." It automatically fixed me, brought me back next game, had my dad hot, but it was like,
yeah, because you know, I know your dad. Your dad, he coached too, not with us. He mostly coached your brother.
Yeah, my brother. Yeah,
and he stands on character and moral. He's a moral guy, which is just commendable because. A lot of people, especially now, it's daddy ball era and shit. You know, they would have been like, "Hey, play my son,
play my son." Yeah,
and you know that's commendable because I would have said the same thing. And nah, if you fucked up, you gotta
take that shit.
You gotta take that. And so, playing at Canyon Springs, how was that? Because at that time, what year is this?
Damn, what year I was a freshman? I think 2017.
Okay.
2017, yeah.
All right, so a freshman. Okay, that's when I moved to Nashville. Okay, so did you play spring football? Like,
well, it's like after
that fall season,
after like the Bulldog season. And everything? Nah, I didn't play.
Okay. And then so freshman football. You're 17. You still got some of your partners from your team before or whatever. Like how was it at Canyon Springs? You know, because this is the Gorman. Now this is officially the Gorman area. When I moved to Vegas, like Gorman was cool, but it wasn't like way older. So it was this is when I moved here. They were at the old campus still. So this is officially the Gorman area now. So how was it playing at Canyon?
I mean, playing at Canyon, it was pretty cool, but it's just I feel like we could have had more exposure.
Okay.
I feel like the coaches could have put us out more and things like that, or like showed us really the academic side of it. All they told us was the basics, like get the basic 2.0 you can play. Yeah. So they really teach us how to apply for scholarships, talk to coaches, things like that. So that's where we fell short at and things like that. But playing football wise, it was pretty fun, even though I didn't get to have a senior year. So like my freshman year, JV year, it was cool. But my junior year, it was like I'm competing with 3 other quarterbacks. It's like they playing each of us each other quarter, so like it really wasn't a cool season for that, and we got disqualified that season too. So yeah, we got a whole season disqualified. So that was just all bad, and that was really the last time I ever played football. So
that's crazy.
COVID hit.
yeah, because you know what? So when I first kind of moved out here, Hunky Cooper was still at Canyon. Yeah. So like a lot of people that I knew wanted to go to Canyon because of Hunky Cooper, and he actually helped a lot of kids get scholarships and stuff like that, so you know, him pat. You know, I remember his son was playing because one of my other sisters went there and she was a cheerleader, so his son was playing, and then he wound up getting that job offer or whatever. He was out.
They go, yep.
Yep.
And crazy thing about it, even though we had like COVID year and we didn't get to have our senior year, Hunky Cooper still came back to Kane and helped a lot of people in my class and in the class below me to get to San Diego State too. So he still did his job at Kane while he wasn't there. So shout out to Hunky for that.
Yeah, shout out to
shout out to Hunky.
Yeah, because he solid dude, man. I met him a few times. We did some charity shit.
Yeah.
And, you know, some other stuff. And always a class act. You know, when I met him, you know. And, you know, he played arena football. But he was playing, like, because I played arena football. So he played before me. I mean, he's way older than me. But, and he was cold. He was a cold player.
Yeah, I seen some mistakes. Then he played for like the Rattlers.
Yeah, the Arizona Rattlers. Yeah, yeah, he was cold. Yeah, and I know a lot of guys that when I was playing, they knew who he was. Like, Vegas, Hunky Cooper, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't give a fuck, but whatever. At the time, you know. So the COVID year happened. You not playing football?
Yeah, I put the football down, picked up the Clippers. I guess you could say that.
Okay, that's what we're about to get into next. So, did you have like this bad taste in your mouth for football because you couldn't play?
Nah, really, I just fell out of love with it. Like, you know, you as you grow up, you just said, you know, you fall out of love with things. Girl plays in the balls and things like that, but. I didn't want to play anymore. Like my dad, he came to me. I remember him asking me like, "Do you want to still play?" Like we was going to have to figure out something for me to go to college. But it's like in that position I was in, I was like, I don't want to play this anymore. I'm time for to make some money. So
I mean, you got I know you got older brothers and younger brothers. What number are you?
I'm the middle child, so I'm number 2. Yeah.
Okay, so you number 2. So it's kind of interesting because you got your older brother probably used to beat your ass and stuff like that. And then so like that's the example, and then now you got to leave example to the younger brother,
and I got a younger sister too. So
that's right. Yeah. So like how was that being the second? I was the first, so you know.
I feel like it's pretty smooth now. Like me being the second child, I feel like I was a really immature growing up, and things like that. Like my brother never had the chance to be immature because he was always the oldest child. Like he always had to lead by example. But it's like my brother and my mom always try to drill to my head to like, you know, lead by example with my younger children or my younger siblings and shit. But it's like I'm still there trying to argue with them. I'm still there doing things like that. But it's like, you feel me? I really wasn't playing the big brother role. But until once I really got to understand that, I feel like everything just came more smooth. Like. Our life really runs smooth. Like we run like a real machine.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's real good. That's how I don't really have any brothers that I know of, but that's how my sisters and I are. Like we're like, y'all lived on the same street. Yeah. So the sister that's under me, she still lives there. She lives there, and then the other ones they live around the corner. Like so, but yeah. So it's kind of cool because like when watching you play and all that shit, and I used to, like, if I go to my mom's house or whatever, and I see you walking down the street, and I have my, all my players I used to coach with the Longhorns before, like Julian, 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 we got the same birthday too. That's my homie. And then it was some other kids down the road, you know what I'm saying? So,
like training and things like that. Yeah.
And then like I always kept up with Powell Fats because he went to Legacy or whatever. And I was like, man, seeing you guys grow up is like for some people like a bittersweet moment, you know what I'm saying? Because for example, like John, not seeing him grow up is like, oh, come on, right? But like people like you is like, yeah, that's solid, you know what I'm saying? And like watching you cut, I'm like, damn, like he really doing it for himself, you know? What made you start cutting?
So when COVID hit, we couldn't play football anymore. I remember my dad, we was on the search for a barber because we had a barber, but he was real, fucked up, real inconsistent and things like that. So my dad was on the search for a barber, and he found this one dude. Well, I'm not gonna say this one dude. He's actually my mentor now.
Okay.
Cuts by Tukey. Shout out to him. He ended up coming home, and that's the first time we ever seen like the enhancements and all that black strip. That's the first time we ever seen it. Okay. So my dad came home. We just like, whoa, what the hell? Like he looked like an action figure and shit. So we like, damn. And so after that, we started going to Tukey and things like that. We was going to him for like 4 or 5 years. And I remember he was just telling me like, bro, get into this barbering game. Like, he watched me grow up too. Like, get into this barber game, this, and the third. I just made this much by cutting dirt, or I just did this and that third. And it was just motivation for me. Okay. So then every time I come get a cut, he asks me something about barbering, but it's like, it was motivation for me, but it's like I didn't have enough motivation to get up on my ass and do this shit. So it was low-key hard for me to keep up conversation with him when I know I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And one day I just got tired of just listening to that shit. I just picked up the clippers and I just got to it, and I never stopped.
So would you say that you're passionate about cutting?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I could tell by it.
Yeah.
I had to ask. So now what are you trying to do with the cut?
So right now I'm working as an apprentice. Like I only could like work in shops on the master barber and things like that. I can't actually own the shop yet. Okay. So after my 18 months, I'm gonna get my master's license, and I'm hopefully I'm there at the position where I could open up another building and things like that and run it from there too, and still be behind the scenes. But right now, for like the next 4 or 5 years, I'm just trying to really build my brand and like just put exotic on everything. Like everywhere you go, you see exotic blends. So
yeah, that's dope.
Brushes, t-shirts, all that.
And it's a lane for that's a good thing. It's a lane for you to do that. I watch, Quaid. His name, his barbershop is on Rancho.
I never heard of him. Wait, actually, I think I have. I seen him.
Yeah, he used to be my barber. His name was just, but I remember. So like, I support people when they doing their shit. So he's getting his license and stuff like that, cutting out his crib. Set up his crib as like a little barber studio. Whatever, and I'm like, all right, shit, like that's dope. Like I see him, now he got a shop. You know what I mean? And I can see that that can happen with you. If you keep on doing your thing, because you cut good as fuck. Like that's why that's why I like my son coming to you, because I'm like, all right, man, look, if like his barber's inconsistent, and like my barber, I got one rule. The one I cheat on. I'm not gonna say that because she's watching, but I be telling people this all the time. I'd rather cheat on anything else in life, but you can't cheat on your barber. Yeah, that's the one thing. That's the one rule. You can't cheat on your barber. And so like my barber, dope. Shout out to Josh, but my barber is dope. Like it's like it's family. You know what I'm saying? Like when I go to his shop. Or, he cuts and he has his own room in there. Yeah, inside the shop, yeah. So it's like you go into the barbershop and you go to the back
like a back room. Okay.
Yeah, so he got his whole thing. I'm a Lakers fan, he's a Lakers fan. So like when he really go out, we go out, my best friend go to him and stuff like that. And I'm real big on like the like if I'm going for a cut, like I'm getting a hot towel treatment, shit like that. Sit back, I want to relax. Like self-care. Everybody needs that self-care.
Everybody needs that.
Like it's a moment, it's experience, it's nuance and shit, right? So I tell people like, man, one thing I could judge you on is if you cheat on your barber. If you cheat on your barber, I can't trust you. Yeah, because like you a disloyal motherfucker, like, you feel me? Because you willing to put your hands in somebody your lifeline, your shit in somebody else's hands. Like I can't trust you.
That shit crazy, bro.
I can't trust you. If you cheat on your barber, I can't trust you.
And I'd be like, bro, what's the point of doing this shit? Like, nigga, like. I'm gonna see this shit obviously. Yeah. But, I mean, it's all love. Everybody gonna want to spend their money where they want to spend it. So
I don't give a damn. Yeah. Look, I'm gonna stay in this camera. Zoom in on me. Look, if you fucking cheat on your barber, man, it's something wrong with you. Because look, sometimes the prices is gonna go up. It happens,
people gotta understand though. If the prices go up, that means the services do too. So it's like, nobody ain't gonna go up on their price if they feel like their service not up to par. Well, that's how I think. Yeah. I don't know about any other barbers. Like, I feel like my service is top tier. So,
yes, it is. I'm old enough to. I remember the $15 cuts, $20 cuts, right? And then, shit, even my barber now. Like when I first started going to him, like I think it was like $30, right? Like 40 if you want everything, like. And shit, for what I get is 60, but I tip them. So like I just look at my mindset is always 70. Even when I get the taper, it's 60. Like I just give him 60. And because he gonna do the beard still with the taper, shit like that, hot towel, shit like that. And when I was in Nashville, I moved to Nashville when you was a freshman. I moved to Nashville, and I let this one dude I didn't know. I didn't have a barber out there, and so I let him cut my hair, and I'm like, damn, this is a long ass cut. And shit was taking like like an hour. So like the way I met him is I met him on Stxndout. So I'm looking for a barber because I couldn't, like, it was a special moment, right?
Yeah.
And so I was flying back to Vegas, so I needed a barber. I needed to get my hair cut out there. So I'm looking, everybody's canceling me his last minute.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, fuck. So I drive like 45 minutes out, right? And I meet this dude, and it's already kind of sketchy because it's like fucking, I think it's 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm going to be cutting for 24 hours. I said, that's
fucking crazy. Bro, what?
That's some shit. I said, but all right.
He that nigga taking shifts.
He said, I'm going to be sleeping at the barbershop because, you know, I'm doing a tour. A tour. I said, a tour? What's that? He said, no, I'm going to be cutting 24 hours. I'm taking everybody's head today. I said, I guess, you know, y'all different out here.
Yeah,
y'all fucking, y'all way different out here. I'm not used to that shit. So I go to him, it's like 7:30. Then I have to wait another 45 minutes. So by the time I get in the chair, it's like almost 9 o'clock. And so I'm like, all right, damn, I'm tired as a motherfucker and shit. And so he's cutting me. Now, by the time like he's almost done cutting me, I'm looking at my phone. It's damn near 10:15, right?
Damn.
Long story short, the motherfucker, this is why I would never cheat on a barber, but the motherfucker, he kept on like fucking trying to get that line up perfect. So he used the straight razor and shit. Look, my hairline is already going back, right?
Yeah.
This motherfucker had my shit like this. I was looking like damn near looking like Stephen A. Smith and shit. And so he was trying to get that shit crisp. And I was like, this motherfucker, man. I think I was coming back for like my mom's graduation or something or whatever. And I'm like, this motherfucker. I looked in the mirror. No, I didn't look into the mirror until I got home. So I'm just like tired. I'm ready to go now. I get back to the crib. I look in the mirror. I said, man, my shit is saying like, yo.
Damn. It's like, bro. Like some people just gotta understand, like if their hairline's already right there, you have to you just work with it. You can't. You're not gonna get that nice crisp line. Yeah. It's impossible. And especially if his bone structure in his forehead like that, you're not gonna be able to do that.
No. Yeah. I'm like, dog, look, you lightly look. Well, my shit, you gotta lightly tap it. I'm an old young nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm a motherfucker in my mid 30s, but fucking, you know, I'm old and I got an old soul. My fucking shit, you know. Look, I'm like, lightly tap that shit, man.
Bro. They had to be tripping.
Yeah. So, but that's another thing too with barbers is timing. I don't want to have a fucking a doctor experience. You know, when you go to the doctor or the dentist, your appointment might be 9:30, but they might not see you until 10:30.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I left my last barber, because I had the fucking appointment and then I get there and then he's fucking, I'm waiting. He took another person. I'm like, yo,
damn.
Why did you take this person in front of me if you know? And so then I'm sitting there and I remember it was like during like COVID. This is the last time I went to him. And I was like, dog, you didn't use no Bombay on my shit. You know what I'm saying? You didn't use no disinfectant. You know, so I went next door to the beauty supply, got some Bombay and shit, and I had to do it myself. And I was like, you know what? I'm good with supporting you, but I'm gonna support you from afar. You know what I'm saying? I never went back. I went to my boy Josh ever since.
Yeah, that's crazy. And he probably just a money hungry barber, because like if you got an appointment, ain't no way in hell somebody else should be getting in that chair without me, without them having that appointment at that same time.
I'm waiting like I'm at the doctor. So, I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, my shit is at 10 o'clock. It's 10:27. Okay, it's 10:30.
And I can see like you one head behind, but if it's 2 heads, 3 heads behind, nah, bro, you doing something
at that
wrong.
point, I might as well have been walking.
Yeah, you might as well have been walking. You doing something wrong.
Hey, and shit, I remember those walk-in days. You know, that's what made me start going to the homies that used to cut at their house, because I remember, especially in California, like if you go like on a Saturday, full house, you know what I'm saying? So you sit in that chair.
Especially on holidays too.
Like the barbers I used to go to, they used to have receptionists and shit sitting there. You got to take an appointment. Oh, you came in at 10:30? Okay, all right. We'll try to get somebody in, but I don't want that.
Yeah,
you know?
everybody don't cut the same.
Yeah, so I'm glad that like the barber game kind of revolutionized and shit, where you can just get the
apps and all of that.
Yeah, because that shit, boy, man.
And it's convenient for us too, because it's like trying to keep up with your appointments by the head or by the book. No, it's too much. Yeah. That's way too much.
Do you take walk-ins?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Some people, I know some people that don't take walk-ins.
Oh yeah, I still take walk-ins.
Okay.
Especially if I have time. Like if I'm not booked up at that time, I'm going to take a walk-in.
So what's your goal that you gotta get to what's your goal in your head that you want to get to every day?
Every day, at least if I touch at least 5 or 6 heads a day.
Okay. Yeah.
But like Friday, Saturday, those be the good days, 13, 14 heads. But if I touch at least 5 or 6 a day, that's manageable to live off. It's like, think about it. That's me working a regular job. Yeah. So it's like, and a little more because of tips. So
yeah.
So yeah.
Do people like? Have you ever got like one of those house calls and shit where, hey y'all, I need you to come pull up at the crib?
Of course, I had a lot of house calls.
So, have you ever been one of those house calls that like you know what, I gotta charge this motherfucker a lot extra for what he want me to do?
Not really it's not really the service, probably how far. So like, I remember it was a hotel call. This dude asked me to come all the way to the M Resort. I think.
Oh yeah, that's on the other side of Vegas.
Yeah, I looked at it, I said, damn, that's 45 minutes. I said, yeah, but that's 150. Yeah. I told him 150. He paid easy.
That's still pretty good because like, you know, most people that's what they start off with. That's not including the gas.
The gas, so it was a good price. And plus he had other people with him. So like they got cuts too. So and I got charged them $50 a head. So
you go to those barber cons and shit like that?
I've been to 3 so far. I competed in 1. I competed in last year's wrist flicking, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it this year. I might, but right now I'm really just.
Yeah, that should be a money grab sometime.
Yeah, sometimes that shit's a scam, bro. Sometimes that shit's a scam. That's how I feel. I know. I be seeing shit, and I be like, y'all, that shit, that shit a scam.
Okay.
But it's good for like all the people that have like different things, different businesses, like all the vendors they allow to come in there. It's real good because they make money. So like you go in there, you can get clippers. Shit, all types of shit, mirrors and other shit. So like,
where can they catch you at? What barbershop you catching out of?
Premier Cuts is right across the street from the Cannery.
That's North Las Vegas.
North Las Vegas, yep, North Las Vegas.
And then so this, let me ask you this. I've been needing to ask you this. So you went to Premier Cuts, but you used to play for people that have a barbershop. How did that happen? I gotta get a little,
It's so funny because we'll talk about some shit off the camera, but some shit just happened with, me and old boy. But really, I just feel like the way the other person did his business, I didn't like it. I'm a very intelligent kid. I'm very observant. I watch, shit from when I'm playing, in sports. So I seen how he did his business within the football industry. So I was like, I didn't, And I seen what he did with the, the barbering industry. So I was like, I'm not fooling with that shit. Even though he's finna open up another shop, but I just also just see how, Rich, he moves, how his mindset is. Like he just like, he's real laid back. He's, and Rich, he's always been, head first for me. Like during my freshman year, it was a lot of coaches that didn't want me to start, but it was him that wanted me to start. And he pushed that narrative.
He used to coach too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he coached the other side. You feel me? We used to trip with him.
I played against him one time, like in the youth sports and shit. He used to have a good ass team, man. They had
the Rebels. Yeah. We played them. We played them the second game on the Bulldogs. They whooped our ass, but
I played him the year before. I beat him before, but he beat me more than I beat him.
Yeah, he always had to find a good ass squad.
They always had like little track stars and shit. Yeah, I remember the Rebels. Because they had those ghetto ass kids. And shit. Those ghetto ass track kids on the kind of like the east side a little bit. Like the northeast, I would say. But Rich is cool.
Yeah, he a real solid dude, and it's like he really just showed love from the get go. Like,
has he always owned that barbershop?
I believe so. I think it was somebody before him that owned it, but he ended up just buying it off of him.
I used to always pass by there, but like it used to be like a ghost town, like
nobody in there.
Like back in the day, this is back like 08, 09, shit like that. I think it might have been a different. Because I used to pass by there a lot, and I'm like, that barbershop ain't lit. Like what I'm saying, like Masterpiece.
I think they really opened up in 2013. That's when they opened up. Cause I really don't know the history on it, but I see like on the floor that says established in 2013. So that's what I think when they opened.
But that other barbershop, they used to get motherfuckers because they had the courts.
Courts in it, yeah. They still got the courts in it too. My old instructor from the school I went to, that's his shop now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. So before we get out of here, what is your 3-year goals, and where do you see yourself in 2030s, 5 years from now?
5 years. So myself and my 3-year goal is really just become more established just within, behind the chair. Mm-hmm. Like at least, with a rotation of 300 clients. That's my 3-year goal. And then my 5-year goal is really just to have like the exotic brand on everything, like have different brushes, clippers, things like that. Just where it's like everything. You feel me? Everything that's barber related, and you feel me? Even fashion side. I want to get into the clothes too. And also, since I'm here, I did want to start a podcast, things like that too.
That's what you start. We talked about that.
Mm-hmm. We talked about that.
I think you should just start it in the barbershop.
And then that's exactly why I wanted to start it too.
And you got the cameraman right here. Get right media. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You can set it up kind of like Matt Hoffman shit. Where, you guys filming barbershop talk. Exotic talks or something like that, or whatever. I don't know, but that'd be dope. I was subscribe and come on there and talk shit or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you coach, right?
Yeah, I'm coaching for the Baller Boys right now.
That's our rival. That's our new rival. Yeah.
Well,
we have Legacy. I'm at Legacy.
Oh, you got Legacy. Yeah, we have a hobby right now.
Yeah, we've been talking shit to Rich on online and shit.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Like, it's all love there. It's all love. But and then 5 barbers that you think is the coldest barbers in the game right now.
All right, of course you got to go with my mentor, Cuts by Tukey, and then we got to go with the homie, Phase by Maury. I'm gonna say, of course, me, but I ain't gonna throw myself in there. I'm gonna say Zion Cuts, he's hard. Moblin, she doing her thing right now, and I'll probably say. My homie Slice by J2. Okay. J2, he doing his shit.
Is it hard fresh out of school? In a relationship, being a barber?
Low key, yeah. Cause it's like we be telling them like, bro, we gotta be here for these extra hours, or we gotta do this, we gotta do that, and they don't be trying to hear that. Some females be,
Interesting. Mm-hmm. We'll do a part 2 with that one.
Yeah, how females be. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll definitely do a part 2 with that one and shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shout out all your plugs, man. And we don't get the fuck out of here. Like,
oh, you said my plugs?
Yeah, like shout out your Instagram handles.
Oh, I was like, okay. Shit. My Instagram, exotic_blends9. You can find me on Facebook. First and last name Rashawn Armstead. My main Instagram, first and last name Rashawn Armstead. But, that's where I'm at right now.
Anything you want to tell to the camera outside of like your Instagram and all that shit?
Oh, shit. And, well, shit, you ain't got to be a dope boy to have no money. That's it.
That's 7 heads a day, you heard?
You ain't got to be a dope boy to have no money.
And on that note, we out. Peace.